Hi, I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favorite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions that you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. In this episode, we're catching up with Alf from Podium, a multi-product platform that's modernising the way local business gets done, and a new partner of Energy Matters, supporting the renewable energy industry. Hello, Alf. How are you this morning?
Great, Rosh. Great. How's it going?
Very well, thanks, mate. Very well. Thank you for joining us today.
No stress, mate. No stress. Absolutely thrilled to be here, man. And looking forward to the discussion ahead.
Oh, good, man. And Happy New Year, Alf. Did you have a pleasant vacation?
I did, mate. I did. I went up to Queensland. Nice and sunny up there. So just only a couple of days of rain. But other than that, still warm, mate. So really relaxing. Some much needed time off, as us Victorians have had a tough run over the past 12 or 24 months. But yeah, it was awesome just to get away and enjoy some sunshine with the loved ones. How about yours, Rosh?
Look, absolutely fantastic. Likewise, it was great just to get away and look. And as you said, it's been a very challenging couple of years, and unfortunately, there's no sign of that letting up anytime soon. We're obviously getting on top of it, but it's from a COVID point of view, it's really going off. And look, it's it's one of those things we've just had to take on the challenges now and adapt and evolve and do the best we possibly can do. So it is 100%. What it is, But look, this is what makes today's discussion quite fascinating. So it's very different to what we've done before on Road to Zero. I mean, this conversation really is, Podium just recently, started working with Energy Matters as one of our partners. You guys are very much an established organisation with some great software. Alf, can you just let us know, what actually does Podium do?
Well, yeah. Firstly, excited to kick off a partnership with you guys at Energy Matters. Clearly you're a thought leader in the industry. So really excited to partner with someone of that stature, right? And work together to help solar businesses, right? Small, medium, or large. But in terms of what Podium would do for a business, I'd like to break it down in three key pillars, right? So like you mentioned, we're a software and we really want to modernize the way that businesses interact with their customers, right? New customers, present customers, even customers from the past. The three key pillars I'm speaking about would be like winning more revenue and increasing your local market share. So what we want to do is help businesses gain or focus on their reputation, right? A lot of businesses probably put that on the back burner and spend a lot on marketing. We're not looking at building their reputation on things like Google, where 90% of the Australian consumer will go searching for a product or a service. So we want you standing out in front of your competition and really drive those Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and so on as well. In terms of delivering a modern customer experience, want to help businesses do that as well. So we are a two-way text messaging based platform, and we can cover, anything from campaign marketing, so marketing text messaging, to your database for upsells or maybe going back to old leads that showed some interest before and presenting them with specials and so on, and just the everyday communication, right? So in the world today, people love to text. It's an easy form of communication where emails and phone calls have dropped off over the last few years. So text has really taken a step forward and will continue to do so. And then we want to improve consolidation and business efficiency, essentially, right? So text messaging, extremely high open rate. It's easy for the business. It's easy for the consumer. And that can, when you're looking at improving consolidation, it's all in one space for the business, right? So, and you can have multiple users on it, which makes it easy. And it's not just contingent on a business owner or one salesperson handling all these conversations, but also building that efficiency, right? Streamlining the sales process, streamlining communications with the customer. But that's pretty much Podium in a nutshell, Rosh.
No, absolutely fantastic, mate. And look, how would you say, I mean, I know from an Energy Matters perspective, I mean, we really, we were blown away with the software that you guys provide and your overall service, sort of late last year, and which is why we obviously started talking. And from an Energy Matters point of view, our challenges throughout COVID were really about communication with our customers. I mean, we like every other business in Australia, we had a torrid time over the last 2 years in terms of, locking down team. We've got some great people working in the organization from a digital point of view. But really, to fill the gap in terms of communication, customer service, we had to really sort of outside of myself and a very small team, we really had to look at how we managed that component. And what we found with the Podium software, there was less of a reliance, which ordinarily we would have had on call center and operators taking phone calls, which essentially is where we were hit either by them being off with COVID or the actual center. If we outsourced that component of our business, that whole outsourced team going down with COVID, and the challenges were never ending. And what we found with Podium specifically for us was having that whole messaging component via mobile just gave us access to our customers in a way we didn't have before, but more so from a customer interaction perspective. Traditionally, we've relied on email, and as a lot of people watching this today, they receive our newsletter on a weekly basis. And if you're a retailer or a partner, maybe every month you get something from us, just update on the industry. But really, I know for myself personally, I don't open up all my emails every single day, especially personal accounts. Business, yes, but even then we get overwhelmed. But what's great about your software is the fact that it is on mobile technology. Yes, some people may feel they're getting spammed on their mobile if you're just bombarding them with communication. But if they're aware from the onset that that's one of your primary forms of communication, I think that just seems to gravitate really, really well. I mean, what would you say, Alf? I mean, with COVID itself, how has that impacted consumer behavior?
Well, I would say you're spot on with a lot of that stuff, Rosh, that you just mentioned in terms of, a lot of customers, if you're giving them the option and they opt to text, then that's their preferred form of communication, right? And text messages just have an extremely high cut-through rate, where emails just, typically or globally have a low open rate. I know myself, I probably have 3,000 unopened emails in my personal inbox. It's gone that far gone with spam that I actually avoid. Text messages always get open, right? So we've seen that really fast track with COVID as well. So in two aspects, right? So the first aspect with people, how they want to communicate, everyone wants everything at the touch of their fingertip. Right? Everyone wants convenience, and convenience always wins. So the digital landscape's completely changed in that regard, but also from the reputation forefront, right? There's, like every industry, solar is no different, that there's cowboys out there, right? Basically doing their own thing. And what we want to help businesses do is grow that reputation and become that logical choice. And in this day and age when, especially, after COVID or post-COVID, people are just very hesitant to let anyone in their house. So if they can see that you're a well-trusted business, you've got that reputation, people have spoken about you and given you good ratings, then they're more inclined to go with your business than your local competition. So I definitely think COVID's changed a lot of aspects in how people actually communicate, customer behavior, and that's what we're tapping into. And us ourselves at Podium, we've actually seen a massive spike since COVID hit in terms of customers jumping onto the platform and utilising it on a day-by-day basis for everything from communication, marketing, lead generation, and to building that reputation.
Yeah, fair play. Like, I know personally, something that really sort of influences me in terms of making choices around, people I want to work with, work for, or even go and visit, socially, let's get like a restaurant. I rely heavily on Google reviews and to see what other people think about those product services, or, as I said, even a meal. And that kind of is the sometimes the one thing that'll actually push me in a certain direction. So in terms of acquiring testimonials, what's the easiest way to do that instead of using Podium?
Well, what I would say, firstly, in terms of testimonials, they're super important for a business. And I would condone any business owner, whether it's through Podium or your own devices, to focus on that reputation, right? And to build Google reviews, build Facebook reviews, and so on, and really get to the forefront of that, because, probably 9 out of your 10 competitors are doing nothing at all, right? And everyone seems to be utilizing the same marketing strategies and so on. And if you can around that marketing strategy and put reputation at the forefront of it and drive that, it'll have a massive impact to the business, right? So I just want to talk about a couple statistics here, Rosh, if that's sweet with you, about what reputation can do for a business and what we see with Podium users, right? So in terms of looking at reputation and driving those reviews, the average Podium user will see 88% more website visits, right? If they're focusing on their reputation and building that after a 3-month period. So you're going to generate more website clicks because you're not just being found on the digital landscape, you're being chosen, right? We generally see 122% uplift in clicks to call as well, and 125% more driving directions to if you do have a showroom or anything like that and you want to generate people or foot traffic into there. So there's a lot of aspects there what reputation can do. And again, these are statistics based on the average Podium user, which we have thousands of them, right? So some see a little bit better and some see a little bit less. But I guess in terms, Rosh, to answer the question about what you can do to make it easy is just remove all hurdles, right?
Yeah.
So if you can put that review invitation or ask a customer for a review, I think that's the first step, right? Simply asking the customer or getting your happy customers to try and leave one. The next step would be just putting it at their fingertip. So we work through text messaging. We have a seamless link that can literally put the customer to your Google listing in the space of a second. And if you can do that, it's going to increase that reputation. What I would say as well is, don't just look at the customers that speak glowingly about your business. You might think, okay, only 3 of our customers out of every 10 say something nice about us, so we'll ask them for a review invite, but you'd actually be surprised how happy your other customers are and just don't say anything at all. In terms of businesses, sometimes they're scared, okay, if I ask for reviews, maybe I'll get a negative one. That's cool, right? It's okay to be cautious, but looking at that, if someone's unhappy with a business, they jump online and leave you a negative review anyway. So what you want to do is put the power in your happy customers' hands, get them saying good things about your business. And again, that's going to directly impact your reputation, your rating on Google and other platforms, and put you in the best position to gain that business.
No, good call. I know from our perspective, I mean, we haven't done a lot of work, to be honest, on getting reviews ourselves personally. I mean, the business itself, NGMats, has been going on for, since 2005. So really 17 odd years. And at different times with different owners doing different things within the organization, our reviews have fluctuated. I mean, more so since we've been, running the business over the last 2 years and focusing more on marketing and media, we've had a high average of, probably about 4.5, 4.6, but we still do get, and we did recently get an absolute shocker for nothing that was really our fault. That really does kind of, as an organization, you kind of sit back and think, it does put a bad taste in your mouth. And like you said, it kind of almost scares you about sort of like asking for reviews, because now we need to literally go and start asking our customers again for reviews. And just to get our average back up to where it was and where it should be, and there's some fear around that, and especially with COVID, the impacts COVID have had on a lot of our, the organisations that work with us, our partners, our retailers, who aren't necessarily able to install customers or take leads and give people quotes or don't work in those suburbs. That annoys our consumer, because our consumer expects Energy Matters to be able to provide them with retailers in every single suburb all around the entire country. And when we can't do that, we sort of run the risk of people saying, well, that's crap. That our experience is rubbish because we never got any quotes. But it's like, well, we're obviously doing the best we possibly can do. So I guess eliminating that fear is probably a massive thing. There's a tool that you have around NPS, net performance scoring. I know we weren't going to talk about it, but can you quickly mention what that's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the NPS scoring system is essentially getting feedback from your customers for internal ratings. So a lot of businesses we find specifically in the solar space that are using it will actually use it as a referral tool, right? Post-sale and post-install. Right, so maybe like 4 weeks later, we can automate a feedback score to go out to a customer. Hey, rate us 0 to 10, and on the solar system that we installed for you. and a customer might send back a 10, right? So we can automate answering based, to ask for a referral from that customer, which is a really good business process, right? And can help you generate some leads just through that alone. But it's also touching base with the customer to see how the system's performing, what it's done for them, and how happy they are. And if they come back with a negative score, that's the opportunity for the business to go back to that customer and say, hey, what went wrong? Why are you unhappy, right? It might not be performing at the full capacity of what they thought it might be. There might be something that's happened with their switchboard or rewiring, whatever it may be, right? But it really helps you dive into what we're doing really well as a business, right? Where we can improve. And if any business can improve operationally by 5 or 10% over an annual year, it's absolutely massive for them. So it's about just, I guess, really deep diving. And you can use it multiple ways. I've just given one example, but you could do it just based on losing leads, right? If you lose out a quote, hey, rate us 0 to 10 on our quoting system and dive into, okay, why are we losing 1 out of every 5 customers? We should be getting 5 for 5. So really, really effective tool to see how the business is running operationally and from an individual standpoint as well, because we can track data based on individuals in the business too.
Yeah, look, I think it's fantastic. I mean, look, once again, as soon as you put aside the fear, if you as an owner or anyone as senior in the organization wanting to really genuinely understand what can I do better, what can we do better to help our customers to improve as an organization, I think a tool like an NPS, even before you sort of step into the unknown and request customer testimonials, is just an amazing way to evaluate your business, evaluate the way your business is perceived by your customers, so you can understand where the holes are and what you need to improve on. And then even just fill those gaps through better communication. I mean, I know personally from an Energy Matters perspective, we've had to change our phrasing because although we would love to be able to say we can help every single customer in every single street around the entire country, we need to have partners and retailers and solar companies and wind providers and solar hot water providers who actually generally, are able to take leads and, help those customers too. And it's connecting the 2 dots. So it just helps you be able to say, look, we'd love to help you and we hopefully can, but in some cases we can't, but we'll do the best we can. What leads on really well to that, Alf, is, how you really, the web chat feature. All right. Yeah. So web chat, and I'm just being honest here, web chat absolutely saved us over Christmas. All right. Absolutely saved us. I mean, I was hit with the perfect storm. We went away to Queensland as well. Family holiday. First time we've been away for a couple of years, like everyone else. It's great just to get out Victoria, just for a break. And my, my team was hit with COVID. So I lost people that were, rostered on to manage the business over that period of time. Were off with COVID. And my customer service team was down with COVID. So I had no one to take inbound calls. I had no one to work with my partners or customers directly. So I was left to manage that. And had I not had web chat, available to my organization and at my disposal through both my mobile phone and my laptop, it would have been tragic. I mean, I'll explain a bit more about my app, how it saved me in a second, but tell us quickly about web chat and how it works.
Well, that's exactly right. Right. Any business owner does not want to be losing leads, and it's almost impossible to be able to respond to every single lead. So web chat is just a little chat function that goes on your website. If you jump on Rosh's website there, you actually be able to see it live in the flesh. But what it does is essentially it's not a live chat, right, where we're trying to tie people to the website. And I guess that puts pressure on a business to have to respond to a lead within a minute or possibly lose it. What we want to do is take that conversation offline. Again, like looking at text messaging, it has a 98% open rate in the first couple of minutes. Right, it's absolutely huge, and text is the way forward. Right, so web chat basically takes the conversation offline. You get businesses getting a qualified lead as the customer's putting their mobile number in, their query, and their name. And the beauty of it is that web chat will automatically respond for the business. Right, just mentioning to the customer, hey, thanks for your inquiry. We'll be with you shortly. If we're not responding right away, what does the customer do? Okay. business is unresponsive, or go to the next business, right? And you're losing business that way. Has an after hours responder. So when people are sitting in bed thinking, okay, but I forgot to get that quote today, I've been busy at work all day, they can still inbound in, right? So we're trying to help business, I guess, achieve here is create self-sustainable ways of getting leads into the business, right? Again, it's great to have multiple ways to get leads, but if you can create, through the reputation, driving people to your website because you're that logical choice, and then making it as easy as possible for that customer to inbound into the business, ask that question, is a perfect storm for it, right? And I'll just speak about a way that one of the solo businesses we work with, when they generate that lead, what they do is they qualify it really quickly through admin, through templates and quick text messages to the customer. And the customers are super responsive, again, because it's through text, and it's easy and convenient no matter where they are, if they're at work or they have, it's a mum at home with a couple of kids running around, whoever it is, right? Super easy and convenient. And then they may pass that on to the sales team, that lead, once it's qualified and it's a good lead, and then the sales process begins from there. So I guess what we're creating is everything from, search to sold, right? They search you on Google, they find you, jump on the website, and then start off that two-way communication, and go on from there.
No, that's fantastic. And look, once again, from a web chat point of view with Energy Matters, we had, as I said, no team to respond to customer inquiries, and what enabled me to do, be it on Christmas Day or whatever time I was, as long as I had my phone nearby, we could see straight away that someone's trying to engage with our organisation with the question. And but look, the reality is most people have a similar type of question. You can almost categorize them with certain templates. So they're either interested in going solar or going renewable, and therefore they want a quote. So you can lead them to how to get a quote. Maybe they've got a question about one of Energy Matters back in the past before we owned it, and it was owned by one of the American companies. And so that's the case of, right, you've got an issue with your system. You now need to speak to these guys because they obviously manage the warranty and actually manage that side of the business. Nothing to do with Energy Matters for today. Or it could just be a general question about technology or about the industry itself. And, so it just allowed us to really, and allowed me personally, to be able to communicate with our customers quickly and efficiently. And now my team, I'm all back from holidays and all, recovered from COVID, have access to that. And to be fair, we'd rather, it's more convenient and quicker for a customer to chat to us via web chat than it is to go for the, palaver, pick up the telephone and hang the phone conversation. A lot of people I found with COVID really have kind of had no choice but to communicate now through mobile phone, through video chat, but also now by being able to utilize the mobile phones more efficiently and, use messaging. It's just quick, it's efficient. You don't need to have the whole build yourself up to have a phone conversation or, make yourself look presentable to have a video conversation. You can just listen to message and full conversation that way.
And that's the thing as well, right? Like what you're doing is you're opening the customer up to options, and that can never be a negative thing for a business, right? You're always going to be receiving phone calls. You may be getting those emails, but what we find through web chat for our average customers is we see 11 times more engagement than we do through their contact forms through web chat, because it's easy, it's simple, takes that conversation offline. And I guess from the business's standpoint, you're not tying that customer to that conversation directly then and there. It's taken completely offline. It's through text. And if you want to set up a call or a video conference through text, then do that. But the customer's coming in through text for a reason, right? Because it's easy and convenient for them. So it's working, both sides of the fence for the business and the customer. Super effective.
No, fantastic. And look, you mentioned earlier about other solar retailers using that service. We were referred to you by one of our solar retailers who's a very, once again, a long-serving client of Energy Matters. And, they just, over a conversation, just a review of the performance of our business with theirs, I always ask the question, how else are you getting leads from customers? And they're like, oh, we've been using Podium. And it's just, we're building up our traffic slowly to our website, but now that traffic's building up, we're getting, phenomenal amount of leads. And so, if we're curious of that, so we've obviously incorporated the technology anyway and got the partnership with you, which we love. But just to see how many consumer leads and how you can really start to harness the traffic you're getting to your website is phenomenal. Because, a lot of the work with us in digital is to drive traffic to our websites. And it takes a long time. I mean, using traditional organic search like NG Matters and a few of our sort of peers and competitors do takes years. I mean, it takes many, many years, lots of investment, SEO, and you build up your profile, build up the keyword search, and get organic traffic. Or you can just use paid search. But no matter which way you use to get people to your website, once they're on your website, it's how do you encourage that customer to submit a request for a lead. Now, from an Energy Matters perspective, we believe in a zero carbon future. We respect our competitors, we respect our peers, and to be fair, as long as somebody goes solar or adopts renewable energy technology or reduces their carbon footprint, then for us it's a win, right? It's an absolute win because the goal's been achieved. But if I was a solar retailer like we used to be in the past, we'd want every single person that came to our website to engage with us, to say, okay, Energy Matters, give me a quote for solar power, install me with solar power. And, so you don't want to lose that customer, but you can't control the engagement because they've obviously business you off their own back. So for them, it's just what's the easiest, most convenient way to engage with the organization that's not a big deal, that then could lead to potentially a conversation, a quote, and the installation of a system. And the company that referred me to you just said, look, we get so much, so many leads per week, and we're installing probably 5 customers a week just off the back of having the software on our websites, which is, to be fair, is why we're such a strong advocate for Podium. We've created a partnership with you. I mean, a lot of people say to me, you're taking business away from yourself by helping everyone become self-sufficient. But that's the whole point, right? We want every single one of our partners to harness the traffic they're getting and to get a win, because it's a lot of work. So I suppose off the back of that, you guys have been fantastic with us, saying, you know what, anyone that's a part of Energy Matters, we're going to look after, we're going to put something together. I mean, just for any one of our retailers, listening or watching today, what are you going to do for them?
So essentially, like as we spoke about, Rosh, right? We're super excited to work with you guys and any business that is affiliated with you, because we feel like you are definitely a thought leader in the industry, and any business that is working with you to any standpoint, I think is obviously a really accredited business themselves, right? So what we want to do is help those businesses, make it as easy as possible to implement Podium if they do want to look down that scope. And essentially, it's over $1,000 worth of savings.
That's awesome.
On the special that we have with you guys. And that's exclusive only to your members, which is fantastic. But also, we've just come up with something. So we've just had a discussion with the US and where they're headed and where we're headed as a company, right? So what that is as long as I've been working with Podium, as long as Podium's been around, we've always run off 12-month agreements. In the near future here in Australia, we're going to have access to month-to-month agreements, and we were able to get early access for any Energy Matters partner, basically to have access to that month-to-month agreement, right? So there's low risk involved, and we want to make it as seamless as possible as those businesses to get on board, right? Get us working together and get them smashing their reputation, finding another avenue for leads, and then streamlining communications in the business, right? Whether, again, it's through just two-way text messaging, marketing text messaging, and so on, and all the other features that we provide.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And look, we generally do really, really appreciate it. We know that, from the conversations we've had already and the inquiries that we've had, people want to adopt this sort of software, but it is a massive, hurdle committing to anything that's 12 months. I mean, in this day and age, unfortunately, the impacts of COVID on every business and any person is that you really can only plan for like the next day, the next week, the next month, and to then have to lock yourself into some sort of software commitment, which unfortunately most of our software licenses are, subscriptions, but can be lengthy subscriptions. And if you don't, commit to 12 months, you get absolutely slammed on the monthly. The monthly is way higher than an annual. Yeah. But you don't really want to spend that much cash for the annual because you're trying to manage cash flow, as in the organization is right now. So for you guys to be able to offer a monthly subscription is amazing, because once again, it means anyone can get involved, check out the tech, implement the technology, and build up slowly and see what the impacts are. I mean, the fact you can actually save money, and one of our partners, snap this off you straight away at the so I know we did a soft launch last year in December just to see, and one of our partners, as soon as they saw that we had the deal on the table, started working with you immediately. and
Yes.
they're blown away with the offer that you've given them, which is brilliant. And that's before the month-to-month came out.
Yep.
But I guess the one thing that's surprised me the most is, immediately off the back of harnessing that traffic that you get into your website, and from a solar retailer's point of view, monetizing it by getting quotes out to that customer, organizing appointments to quote that customer, and then ultimately installing them. You've not only broken even, but you're generating revenue off the investment for the software. And that just surprised me completely, and how quickly within a week, a couple of weeks, you've already kind of offset the cost of whatever they're spending with you anyway, and actually now making, actually generating a profit.
100%. And that's the thing, right? Like, especially in the solar industry, where we're trying to get more and more consumers involved, and get them in front of solar businesses. It's simple to make that return on investment, and you're not investing into your business basically to say, okay, can we break even or at a loss? We want businesses to really flourish under using our platform, and they have, right? So continue to do that. But again, on the other side, it's something that will drive efficiencies in your business and save you time and create a customer experience that they're not getting anywhere else. Right. So there's a lot of factors there, not just the initial return on investment, but what it's actually doing for the business, and how you're communicating with your customers is a whole nother thing. Right. So I definitely think there's, more than one value prop in regards to that, for sure.
No, I think it's incredible. I mean, like, to summarize from how we're using it and how we're going to use it even more so. I mean, first and foremost, NPS scoring just enables you to understand how to engage and interact with your customers, to find out what can we do to improve our organization, get some dialogue happening with your customers, and get the opportunity to get some feedback. And you can get that very easily through a net performance score. Getting testimonials. I mean, once again, building up your Google review score, getting testimonials from customers who actually are happy, and even if they're not happy, take that on the chin and understand what you can and can't do. So at least that way, from a consumer's perspective, when you're doing your research, you can understand that organization has got themselves 300 or 400 reviews, they've got this score, and they can read more about what customers thought about that organization. And then finally, from just in terms of being able to the communication and the ability to harness people coming to your site, being able to do that, facilitate that via text messaging is brilliant. So look, we're absolutely, we're buzzing to be working with you, Alf. And look, we just think Podium, what you guys bring to the table is absolutely fantastic. So, the more people that do it, the better. Obviously, we're happy to have this partnership, so you can offer this exclusive deal to anyone that comes via NG Matters. I mean, for us, it just helps people get on the ladder quickly, and it's awesome that you guys have been willing to do that. To obviously, to assist our partners and anyone that listens and watches us. One real quick thing. So we know that you obviously are very, you love the fact that you're working in this industry, in renewable energy and reducing the carbon footprint. I mean, what would you say are goals and things that Podium are committed to inside of this, and even or you personally towards a zero carbon future?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess from a Podium standpoint, the more that we can help solar businesses get in front of the everyday consumer, people that may not have even been considering solar, right? But they've seen a business's reputation and thought, okay, that's good. And then the business is communicating with educational content, whether it be ebooks or links to how solar will not only reduce their energy bills, but essentially it'll help the environment, right? So the more that we can help every solar business to get bigger, better, and in front of more consumers, we're definitely wrapped to do that. From a personal standpoint, I actually just bought a house about 3 months ago. So awesome. I'm in the process right now, looking for a solar business to work with. And when you know it, Rosh, I'm looking definitely on Google. But yeah, I mean, essentially, from a personal standpoint, if there's anything I can do to help the environment, but also put a bit of money back in my pocket, I'm all for it. So why not?
No, good, man. Well, look, Al, thank you very much for your time today, mate. I do appreciate it. And thanks to the whole team at Podium. So far, you've been a delight to work with. And, we look forward to continuing this relationship. It's great.
Likewise, Rosh. Have a good one.
Thanks, mate. You too. So, guys, before I finish up, remember, you can get up to 3 free solar quotes by visiting our website. and also get a free energy bill comparison, just visit energymatters.com.au. Make sure you please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and view all of our podcasts. Please do leave us some kind reviews on Google. It only takes 1 or 2 negative reviews to knock your score down, and but we're going to work hard. We're going to work hard now to sort of help our consumers as best as possible, and utilizing Podium to understand, what we can do to be better as a business. For now, we wish you all the best. Stay safe, and we can't wait to interact with you again. See you guys.